Karibuni sana guys, my name is Kalondi Musime and I'm standing next to the legendary Nameless.
Yes, so Manaless.
And let me tell you, for a very... Utaipata jina?
Hey, manzemi, 23 years bado, sidhani. Bado. Nimekubali tu. I'll remain nameless.
How do you feel your songs are being immortalized? Like Coming Home, imeimbwa mara mob leo.
I wanted to tell her I'm coming home. I'm writing this letter to my daughter. I wanted to tell her I'm coming home.
And they've sounded so good doing it. For me, I think it inspires me and motivates me to keep doing what I'm doing, because I feel somehow it will inspire someone later for some whatever reason, you know. And even me, when I was doing, there are some songs that when I was doing, I was really like thinking about Kenya. So that was one of them, Coming Home. Another one I did that was really thinking was Salary. Salary, when I was doing Salary, it was just after the post-election violence. And I wanted to remind people that in the end of the day, we are all hustling. Whether we're ni top CEO, whether we're ni watchman, whether we're ni makanga, we just respect the hustle, you know, just so that we bring people together. I'm the kind of brand or person who likes to bring people together. You get anything I do, I try to do it in a way that I feel it will bring guys, make people understand each other and work together. So I was very touched to see this young artist doing my song.
And you know, the Salary message should be the message this year, by the way.
Straight up, straight up. Because you know what happens during elections, and it's unfortunate when politicians are really trying to get into office. Sometimes they will do almost anything to make sure they get votes. And while they're doing that, they really split people who have been together for 4 or 5 years, you know. But they'll say statements that will spark emotions that split us. And we have to be very aware of that, you know. So for me, Salary was just to remind people, hey, come on, this is what it was to hustle. Life is hard. Life is hard, but let's remind ourselves that we are still brothers and sisters. So I would also want, as we're getting into this election year, to remind people that just remember this, some of these messagings that are going to come out during the campaigns are normally just because someone wants votes. So don't get too emotional about them. Don't let, you know, like now people have a football team and then Nini Paka, they almost want to kill each other. Ni soccer, man. So let's not kosana with friends who we've been together with just because someone has said something, not knowing that the ulterior motive is he wants votes.
You know, Nameless, you've spoken a lot about being Kenyan. We are at the launch of Pride Ya Kenya initiative, right? What makes David Mathenge very proud to be Kenyan?
I mean, for me, I think the resilience. Let me tell you, like, genuinely, I've traveled, huko nje, and I've seen the way guys like in the States live, you know, like their life is quite soft. Even the ones who are in like the ghetto, there are a lot of support from the government and policies that protect them. Huku ni kunoma. And people are still able to go to work every day, smile, and what for me, I'm like, the resilience, considering there's a lot of struggle and poverty and negativity that no one chose to be in. For me, I feel like, wow, like I feel that makes me know that guys are strong. It's just now, how do we now change so that we can come out from that kind of, you know, a lot of poverty and negativity? How do we now change it to something positive? You get my point? That's why things like Pride Ya Kenya is something that I really want. I keep saying I like to be a leader in cultural evolution. How do we change our culture that it's evolving for the better, not for the worse? You get? So for me, I'm just like, Kenyans are resilient. through hardship, through what, they still wake up every day, they still have a chance to smile, they still try and do stuff even if they come from a very hard background.
Yeah, and of course, you mentioned hapo hivyo ndani that your teacher refused flowers. That shows, first of all, you were a bright student in school because you loved physics.
Yeah, I mean, for me, there are things that when I reflect, I'm in an age where I'm just reflecting on my, I keep saying I'm on half time, mimi niko kaa half time. Unajua ukiingia ma 40s, uko half time. Unaelewa? So unaangalia the first half, una reflect on what are the different things that impacted in your life, you know, just from how I was growing up, from my parents to my siblings, to my friends, to my teachers. So one thing that came very big now that I have kids is teachers. Teachers can make or break your perspective of school and education. If you're unlucky to have a teacher who's not that passionate about teaching, utakuwa unachukia masomo juu hakufundishi vizuri. So for me, I'd like to also celebrate teachers that, you know, are really making a difference in our kids right now and out there. Sometimes their pay is not even that great. Let's be honest. We're always seeing teachers wanaandamana. Solorio, you get. But they are really forming the minds of the future generations. Yeah. So for me, it was so good to see my teacher, physics teacher, and I had to tell him, man, you really changed our lives. Yeah. Luckily, I was with a fellow student who said yes, and he was like, no. And he was telling me, when do you know? I'm like, wachana hizo story. Yeah. Where you made a big impact in my life. So any chance you get to tell someone that, it's really like, just celebrate. But you have to be aware, how did this person change my life? You know, yeah. And then you live that life of gratitude, of saying, hey, you know what, you did this, or you did, even in media, you just, like me as an artist, I'll be the first to say, you know, thank you to the media because I know there are parts of my career that depends on the media. You get my point? There are parts that depend on my fans. There are parts that depend on my producer. There are parts, so we shouldn't just take things for granted. Just celebrate when someone has impacted your life, and someone else will celebrate when they. Because me, I appreciate when someone comes to me and tells me, "Bruh, you inspired me. You did this." I'm like, wow. You don't know how it motivates me to go back and work. So when you do that to someone else, we'll all grow and become better. Yeah.
Lastly, you are on TikTok. Hey. I opened TikTok and. Hey. How does it feel to be a TikTok dad?
No, for me, my passion, even if someone around here was trying to tell me that I have two left, let me explain to you something straight up. I've always been a good dancer since I was a child. So much is on my rumors that nilianza sijui aje. No. And for me, it's you know, if there are things that you love and they're passionate and they give you joy, do them. You know, it doesn't matter about ages. Someone like, hey, uko TikTok, and I'm like, nacheka tu nasema mimi sipangwingwi. I know what it's doing for me. I know what it's doing for my family. Yeah. Because we all, funny enough, all of us four tunapenda dancing. Yeah. It's just that my wife is the poorest dancer of all of us, but it's the truth. Yeah, ndio naweza kusema alianza na left feet, but we've been working on her. My daughter my daughters actually both got my genes. Wow, wanaenda tu nayo, you know. But for me, it helps us bond as a family. It helps me connect with also my fans who love dance and music. Even the ones like you who don't know how to dance, at least munaweza angalia, upende. Najua nyinyi munaangalianga kwa mind, but it's a way of bonding. So when TikTok came about, initially I was like, but when I knew I'm still doing music, I was like, I need to join this because one, it's about my passion, is to dance and to move. But then in a really stress, I remember I joined it during TikTok, during Corona. And Corona was a stressful time for many people, yeah. So it ended up being something that would just give me a bit of peace of mind when I'm trying to understand a move, naifanya naona tu mini mnoma, those kind of things. So yeah, so and if you're a musician, I would say it out there that even the young guys who are coming in, you need to join TikTok. Yeah. Especially if you're a musician, you need to understand how TikTok is because TikTok is actually driven by music. And then by comedy and stuff like that. But music, even when you talk to TikTok, the guys who are running TikTok, they say the main drive of TikTok is music. Yeah. So if you're a musician, whether you're not comfortable, ingia tu, uelewe, and then you can be able to know how it can impact your music. Yeah.
Talk to us about your gifts.
Hiyo mali safi ya Devi. Hey manze, nini nyinyi manze, tulieni. I was just putting it out there that sometimes you don't have to do such big things. Unajua saa zingine social media inapatia watu pressure. Tuseme tu kweli. Tunapata pressure kama wanaume. Unajua, I may have to represent the boy child. So nilikuwa najaribu ku indirectly tell my boys, sometimes you can do small things like go to a picnic, out spend so much. It's the thought that counts. Unaweza tafuta kapanti ama weka jina yako hapo. You know, it was just fun. You know, some people are there now commenting, kumbe anava panti ya grandpa, relax. No, it was just a message I was putting out there to basically say, sometimes the thought that counts. It's not ati pesa umeweka. It's the thought that counts, however simple it is. Yeah, so that's what that was meant to be. Sawa?
Yes.
Yeah.
You've gotten hints on some gifts that you should get your girlfriend, by the way. On Facebook, you're dealing with trolls.
No, what for me? And some people ask me, how come I'm so patient with some haters, like now Nganga, now so politely, or I don't get pissed off? It's over years of long time I used to get really pissed off when I see someone talking negatively, even not to me or to someone else. Now, psychologically, I've started understanding why. Now, in fact, for me, now, askilia huruma. Because I'm like, oh, this person is doing this because they're struggling with something that I'm not struggling. You get? So when someone is rude, he's rude because he was not taught how to be polite. You get my point? So for me, instead of now trying to be rude like him, because sasa najirudisha kwa level ako, I try to elevate by saying, even sometimes now advice, nasema, na get point yako, lakini ungeisema hivi, lakini uendelea tu na vile una, because I'm not even talking only to, let me be honest, sometimes when I'm answering, I'm not only talking to that person. In fact, rarely am I talking to that person, because that person probably, he needs a lot of therapy. Like it's deep, like you can't with a comment. In fact, that I deny. I'm talking to the others who are reading it, to tell them sometimes don't keep don't need negativity with negativity, because it just breeds more negativity. Sometimes when you put positivity out there, it reduces the negativity. That's why even this Pride Kenya is coming from the fact that there's so much negativity of how we put ourselves down consistently. That even me, when I talk to some upcoming artists, there's a time I was talking to a 17-year-old, and he was like, he was saying he wanted to sing like Guys of States, and I asked him, why don't you want to sing like a Kenyan, like? And he's like, because everywhere I read, I just hear Kenyan music is crap. Yeah. And I'm like, it's not crap. It's just some people saying it. Then he's like, you mean? I'm like, no. It's just that we will see people saying that, and it's just an opinion. And nowadays, everyone has a platform to say their opinion. They can't go through a process of confirming whether it's true or not. Yeah. So I realized if we keep letting this negativity just keep going on like that, even the media, I would like to say that to the media as well. Because sometimes I know negative stories sometimes get more traction. Yeah. I know there's the pressure of what the people want to hear. You get? But we also have to be aware that if we keep feeding that, then it will become our culture. Negativity itakuwa tu culture yetu. Na tutajipeleka down, na kila saa tutakuwa tunasema, mbona hao wengine wako mbele? So it's, when we say let's start changing it, it's not easy, but it's just consistent messaging. So I'm so happy to have you guys here as well, because it shows that you're like, there's a part that is saying, you know what, we need to make sure that positive stories are being put out there more and more, so that it counters that, and it will change the culture. Me, I think it's more important to me now more than even before, because of my kids. They'll ask me questions, I'll be like, what? We have a role to play, because these kids can't have the same negativity that has been breeding over time. When I was talking about Wangari Maathai planting something that she knows is going to be 30 years later, that culture of thinking 30 years ahead, we also need to do it where you're doing something knowing, like me for sure, Pride Kenya, for me, I know it's something that's a process. It's just consistent, it needs to just keep going on and on. That the real effect of it is like 30 years away from now, where people will just be proud. And they'll be like, they're just like everywhere they're going. Sometimes we wonder, sometimes these Nigerians, sometimes they're so like, it's because there's a part of their culture that pushes that thing of, sisi ni wanoma na hakuna kitu natuambia. And even as an artist, you have to have that confidence, minimum normal. When you see people like Calligraph, who went through so many trolls, and all these artists that you can say going through, the strength you require mentally, my friend, even to my artists who are coming in. Now, kwanza, it's social media. You don't only have to have talent, you have to have mental strength. Because, trust me, you see a negative comment, inaweza kuaffect. You get my point? And people don't even, when they're doing that negative comment, then they're not aware, because probably they've never created something and known the pain of hearing someone talking negatively. So you can't even blame him, because he doesn't know. So I don't focus on that person. I focus on the one who's creating and tell him, please know that When I'm talking to a kid, I'm telling him, apart from talent and hard work, you need mental strength, because people are going to come in your face and bully you and tell you you're useless. Don't take that energy. Understand that that's coming from a negative place, but what do you learn and grow from? Yeah. So for me, that's what I would say. Let's push positivity out there. Let us be proud of even the small things, and let's shine it. Yeah. Say, you know what? You can even take a picture of your house manager or house help, because there's something you know is so amazing. Take a picture of her. Say, "Uni Pride ya Kenya," and tell us why. Let that inspire someone else who will say, wow, I love her courage, I love her compassion, I love her teaching, I love her impact in teaching. Let another teacher see you celebrating another teacher and see why, so that him, when he goes and says, I would like someone to say the same thing about me. So these things, they look like it's not that a big, but it's big. It's really big if we embrace it, all of us, because it will change something that even us, tutakuwa, we'll be 80, na wewe utakuwa, maybe, nikiwa 80 utakuwa ngapi?
Why you so ndaka watu wa calculate miaka yangu ni chako.
But nataka tukae somewhere tuseme, wow, look at how this place has changed. Remember how you guys used to be so negative. Look at it now. Labda hawatatupatia flowers, but the flowers will be in our heart. Yes. Yeah, we'll know that we were part of this change. You get my point? Yeah. So for me, I'm just happy that today happened. Yeah. I'm happy that different people have shared the different things. Even now, as people are talking chini ya maji hapa, they're just saying, yeah, you know what? There are things that we need to celebrate more. Maybe we're not aware of, so that we change the culture.
Kabisa. And we appreciate you. Asante sana for coming through for us.
Oh, no, kama kawaida. And we appreciate as well you guys and what you guys are doing. And when I saw you guys in the morning, I was like, yeah.
Asante sana. And that has been Nameless, the legendary himself. My name is Kalandu Musimi. Behind the camera is the one and only Saidi Abdallah. Bye.